Hey, shalom, shalom. How you want to wab, which is a good day. Anak na waha ay bar yasha'Allah. Hawalakim la atam. Call shabawai baharacha wa kakshaw Yahawah bahasham Yahawashah. Ma'amath was truly. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashah to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Acham adam kaya hamalakwat hashamayim korab. Repent, yea, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Laim La, Yahawah, Bahasham Yahushua, Bahasham Hakodash, Wamashana Kabadim Dukoim Nawa, Wa Malaakim, Shoy Shalazukoim Rakagadawa, Wa Chasad, Wa Shalamam, Wa Barakim, Laha Bahariam, Shohakabasha Shalamam. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahushua, He delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. So this is an article on RT. It reads, U.S. can't recruit enough Green Berets, which grain by Baryath is Yarak, which is green. All right, it says, Army Special Forces have reportedly failed to meet enlistment targets for years and a shortage of qualified candidates. And going into, the past years, they've had to lower their standards, So they taking in more mentally ill people, more people that's fat, It says the U.S. Army has reportedly failed to meet its enlistment quotas for the special forces known as Green Berets for four of the past 5 years as recruiters struggle to find enough applicants who are qualified to join the elite unit. The service recruited an average of 1,011 new Green Beret candidates from 2018 through 2020. Falling 34% of its targets for those years, and it only managed to meet its quota in 2021 after the goal was lowered to 1,250 from 1,540. Military.com reported on Thursday just 779 new recruits signed contracts in 2022, a 38% shortfall versus the target, and 527 Green Beret candidates have been recruited so far this year, the outlet said, citing internal U.S. Army data. We have to do a better job at telling our story, Lieutenant General John Braga, head of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, told Military.com. The unit struggles come amid wider recruiting shortfalls in the U.S. Army and other military branches. Secretary of the Army Christine Wormuth told Congress last month that enlistments would again fall short this year after missing the target 15,000 troops or 25% in 2022. It says the Army Recruiting Command has blamed shortfalls on a tight labor market and the fact that more than 7 in 10 young Americans are ineligible for military service because of such issues as obesity, drug use, and mental illness. Pretty much going to what they've been talking about the last year or so, But it says 7 in 10. That's more than half the country. It says the Green Berets face the additional problem of many recruits being unable to get through the grueling qualification process after enlisting. Those who fail are often assigned to regular infantry units. In recent years, just 45% to 60% of new recruits have passed a 3-week course that's required before they can begin special forces training, down from an average of 60%. So I'm gonna read that over. It says in recent years, just 45% to 60% of new recruits have passed a 3-week course that's required before they can begin special forces training, which is basically, it's like a 3-week course, and then it's like 2 years of like special forces training where you undergo like the training, and then they put you into your specialty, because they got like, I think like the specialties include like medical, weapons, and so on and so forth. It says down from an average of 60 to 80% a decade ago. Once they advance past the first screening hurdle, candidates go through a series of schools and tests that they can take up to 2 years. See, Army leaders have considered shortening the training gauntlet by about half to fill vacant positions more quickly, the outlet says. So pretty much they're talking about shortening that school. So if you shorten it, it's going to be less training. So even more underqualification. All right. It says the Army has reportedly caused resentment from among some Green Berets by making the qualification process easier, allegedly to enable women to pass. Pretty much, it says some Green Berets, and that's like the top of the top, So like that's gonna create that division. You see, that Isaiah 19:2, which we'll get out of one through the Spirit. It says, Green Berets are the U.S. military lead guerrilla warfare forces. They typically work with indigenous militants as force multipliers, such as the operators who collaborated with Northern Alliance fighters in battling the Taliban during the early days of the Afghanistan war. Military.com reported in May that the U.S. Army may shrink its special forces by about 10% this decade as its training emphasis shifts back toward conventional warfare. And pretty much conventional warfare, you got the unconventional warfare, which is like your spec ops, your rangers, your SEALs, and so on and so forth, paratroopers, which they do like the unconventional stuff, jumping out of planes, going in water, doing like black op missions and stuff like that, which that takes up some funding, but being that it says that they're going to shrink its emphasis back towards conventional warfare because they short on that side too. All right, and then at the same time, they're going to have to up their recruiting and their retention in the conventional warfare side because they're short on that side as well. So they're going to focus more on, why are they going to focus more on it? Because they're going to have to do more recruiting and more retaining. You see, it says, the recruiting data is the first clear indication that the service may be slowly reducing the footprint of Special Operations A because it's going to be another large war. You see that it's going to have to be a lot of bodies. What do they say? What they call like soldiers? They call them body bags. You see, because they fill up spaces. You see. So let's get some precepts. This is Isaiah chapter 19, and we're going to start at verse 2. It says, verse 1, it says, the burden of Montezarium, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Montezarium shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Montezarium shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, you so-called Babylonians, you Americans, set one another towards each other. Going back to this article, because it said that it says the army has reportedly caused resentment among some Green Berets by making the qualification process easier, allegedly to enable women to pass. So pretty much that's gonna cause division, and they can push this everybody is accepted and shit like that, but nah, they're gonna feel some kind of way about that. So continuing on, it says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. So it's creating that division. You see, this is the spirit of the Lord moving throughout the earth. You see, like they allowing women to pass the Green Beret thing, but then also they allowing these modes to get in there too. So that's creating division as well. All right, and when you go into, I guess, what you would call civilian life, when the true civilians are those that's not in the truth, but talking about like how they would use it, even amongst that, there's just people in the United States, it's division there as well. All right, because this kingdom was made to be destroyed. You see, when you go into the meaning of Babylon, all right, and you also go into America, it's going into bitter because it has a bitter end. All right, let's get another one. Let's get Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, Bathsheba Babal, daughter of Babylon. All right, sit in the dust, which represents confusion. This place is at a confused state. All right, it's not really set. There's nothing but confusion here. It says, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. It's no more being called tender and delicate because the Lord is for one, the inception of this place is being brought back to remembrance. All right, so nobody wants to be here, and at the same time, the Lord is I'm gonna go back to that verse, Yeshaya 19:1. Actually, no, it wasn't 1. It was I think it's 14. That perverse spirit, the Lord is bringing that perverse spirit. I'm gonna read this too. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Montezarium to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. All right, so that's all going into the implosion of Babylon. You see, going back to Yeshaya, Isaiah 47:1. So Ha Yahushua Shah Babal, the sitting of Babylon, you know, that's all coinciding with everything that's going on. All right, how they can't recruit anybody, how the dollar is crashing, how it's a famine, how these other nations are rising up and gathering together. You see, we're witnessing this right now. All right, let's get another one. Let's get actually, I'm gonna keep going. It says, take the millstones and grind mills, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So pretty much, this place's unrighteous deeds are being discovered. And also, I'm going to this word, shame. It says reproach and scorn, rebuke, disgrace. It's a disgrace that they're allowing, women in their military, as well as they're allowing moles as well. So this place is looking weak. So that's a disgrace to this place. You see, this whole world is seeing that the disgrace, the taunting of this place. You see, let's get another one, and we'll close it out. This is Yeshaya, this is Jeremiah, also Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 30. Actually, we'll go to 50 and 37. It says, a sword, Jeremiah 50 and 37, a sword is upon their houses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. So this place is becoming as woman. It's becoming weak. All right, the woman is the weaker vessel. Let's get that. This is 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. We get the word for weaker vessel, because again, this place is becoming weak. It says weaker. It says weak, infirm, feeble, strengthless, literal, figurative, and morally. This place is literally becoming weak. All right. You look at the infrastructure in Babylon is becoming weak. Figuratively, this place is weak. All right. Morally, this place is weak. If you look at all the other countries, they're weak as well. But Babylon is way weaker at going into the morals. You see, when you go into these other countries, they hold fast. They hold faster. Even though they're going off, they hold faster to with the ways of the East, the true way of the East, more than what Babylon does. When you come here, you see that this place is in that perverse spirit. You can be what you want to be here. You see, you go to these other countries, they're not having that shit. You see, I'm gonna keep going. This is more feeble, impotent, sick. This place is sick, man. This shit's fucking disgusting. You see, it says without strength. All right, this place is without strength is becoming weak as woman. It's becoming as woman. It's only gonna get worse. So Adawan Ratazah, Zabanaya Pa, Lord's word. That was a beautiful edification through the spirit. Adawan Ratazah, Atham, Yash Hayawam Tawab. Hey, Lord's will. You all have a good day. Hey, Shalom.